You know, it's interesting when I see, pictures like this of our church, and you begin to see the church that was in the past, and then the next phase of the church, and then kind of the final phase of the church. And I say final phase of the church, but how do I know that that's the final phase of the church? I should say the latest phase of the church. And it's wonderful to see the progression of the ministry that has happened in this place. You know, in a couple years, it's not that far off, we're going to have our 175th anniversary as the church. Way before any of you watching this video, actually, way before anyone even knew there would be a thing called video, there were folks that started this church, and their vision to have a congregation in Brighton, Michigan, was one that allowed God to really build through those generations the place that we have today. And it's amazing when you think of the church. I mean, this wasn't even really the original church. There was another church before this, but this became kind of our first main church in this corner right here. And then all this rest was built up there as more and more people came and had that vision of saying, we want the church to continue on past this time. So here's a way that we can ensure that. Now, obviously, your giving today is really helpful and really important. But we have an endowment, and that endowment is there to help ensure that this place has a future beyond this year, beyond this decade. That our hope and our prayer is through the giving that you do now, you can begin to plant that financial seed so that this church can continue on. Now, with our endowment, it's a little more flexible than other churches might have in their endowment. The way we do our endowment now is there is a benefit that comes through that endowment. Whatever that endowment has made over that particular year, there is a distribution that's made, and there's two ministries that are helped through that distribution, but then there's also monies from that distribution that is going to now be put in the hands of the session so that the session can determine today what is needed. And that's the thing about an endowment. An endowment not only ensures or attempts to assure the church of the future, but it also finds a way through its distributions to take care of the church today. And it would be wonderful if more and more people began to give to that endowment, because the more we have in the endowment, the greater the distributions for today and the larger nest egg we have for the future. So this year, Melanie and I put together our trust. And as we were putting together our trust, the lawyer said to us, now, do you want to leave any money for anything else? Like, say, your church. I love that our lawyer said that, because you know what? It reminded me, yes, I want to make sure a portion of my trust goes to my church. So that's one way that people can give to the endowment. Another way is to simply give money now to the endowment. Or perhaps if a loved one of yours passes and you want to ensure that there is a lasting memory of that person, you can ask that the memorial gifts go towards that endowment. All of those things, again, are helping to ensure the church years from now, as it's also helping to, through the distributions, support the church today. So take some time. It's in that brochure I talked about a couple weeks ago. Take some time to look at how we are utilizing that endowment, not only for tomorrow, but for today.